close. We're not pacing at a 95 win rate where like you can look at it like, well, let's add one reliever and one piece on the bench and feel good. We got to do more than that. A lot of it's still going to have to happen internally. We know that. Drafts coming up. It's another opportunity. International player development. We've got some exciting things happening in the minor leagues for sure. But the next 4 weeks are going to present opportunities to do things that will help us win those games faster. We got to find those opportunities next year.
All right, I'm done with this guy. I mean, really, really done with this guy. I'm so done with this guy that I am completely changing my opinion from yesterday and from last Thursday when I said, hey, Mitch Keller's pitching great. Mitch Keller has bombed in each of the last 2 second halves. So strike while the iron's hot. It is a seller's market. You would be selling high. You don't want to potentially see this dude crater again in the second half and then sell low this offseason. So whether it's Ben Cherington or gestures wildly, someone else, you need to move Mitch Keller. No, this guy just doesn't see it, man. He still doesn't see it. He's talking about help from within. He's talking about internal improvement. He's talking about year 6 of a regime like it's year 1, 2, or 3. Well, we're going to need to continue to improve internally. Hey, Benjamin, where's that going to come from? Nick York? God bless him. Maybe. Where are the positional players that are going to come up and help this team? They got one guy that projects to be an impact player, and he's like 6 years old, and that's Connor Griffin. He's tearing it up at high A, Dorin, but they haven't fast-tracked him to double A yet. I'd like to see them do that at some point this year so that he could arrive next year and could help the Pittsburgh Pirates. But apart from him, what are we talking about? Like Nick Gonzalez keeping it up? Okay, yeah, sure. But Henry Davis, who's become a really good defensive catcher, finally catching on and hitting the baseball? We're talking about Spencer Horwitz? Dude, it's year 6. If internal improvement was always the plan, it probably should have been. You're a small market team. Draft and develop. Make some trades. Develop those guys. But now in year 6, you have to pivot. And that means player acquisition. And he's still a guy who should firmly be on the hot seat, Dorin, doesn't seem to understand that there's urgency.
You would think that he would take a different approach to whenever he gets those opportunities to speak, because the obvious is right in front of everybody's face. It's almost insulting.
That's exactly
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
It's almost insulting because it's like every single time a question like that may be presented or that gets brought up, he says the same thing about internal improvement. We've been hearing that for years, as you just basically said. But everybody knows that you need to get players in here. You need to get why not just say that? Like, I need to do a better job with getting the adequate players in here to compete for this ball club.
Yep.
That could go a long way, Crowley. That could go a long way. Even just saying it. Even building the fantasy. Even building the perception.
Yes.
Without even executing it. But making it look like that is the right method moving forward, which it actually absolutely is. But even making it look like that can have some sincerity in anything that he says. Like, it just does. Like, you keep saying the same things, and we keep watching the same thing, and nothing is transpiring. Right. It hasn't. So why is anybody going to believe that? Why? Like, anybody that watches baseball.
Don't pee down our leg and say that it's raining.
Exactly.
And I think you nailed it. That is exactly what he's doing. And he did talk about opportunities upcoming, and I think he's referring to the draft, and yeah, he's referring to the trade deadline, but that didn't sound like a man who thinks that is the way to put your best foot forward. And if that's the case, if we were to take him at face value, it's laughable if you're not going to cry.